When my sister stole my dream job, she had the nerve to call me a failure in front of our family. She then locked me out of the house, telling me I would never be welcome again. As I walked away, I promised, this isn't over. But what she didn't know was that I was already planning a revenge that would take her career and leave her with nothing. My name's Chris. I'm 38, and I live, or used to live, in Raleigh, North Carolina. I worked in marketing for over 10 years. Not glamorous stuff, just grinding it out, doing freelance gigs, slowly building a decent portfolio. I wasn't some genius, just consistent. I made sacrifices most people wouldn't. Skipped weddings, holidays, even turned down a steady girlfriend because I thought I needed to stay focused. My sister Amanda is 3 years younger. Growing up, we were close in that kind of childhood way, sharing a bathroom, riding the same school bus, fighting over the remote. But after our dad died in 2017, things changed. He left us the house. Instead of selling it, we agreed to keep it. She'd move in with me temporarily until she got her feet under her. That was supposed to be 6 months. It turned into almost 4 years. She worked random jobs, real estate assistant, receptionist, retail, but never stuck to anything. She complained a lot about how unfair life was, how men in suits made money for just talking. She didn't say it, but I knew she meant me. At first, I brushed it off. She was grieving, lost, trying to figure things out. I told myself she needed time. The job at Burke and Franklin came up in early 2023. I'd been watching that firm for years. They were top-tier, clean campaigns, ethical branding, real creative freedom. I'd even networked with someone who worked there years ago. When the creative director position opened in their Atlanta branch, I poured everything I had into my application. I built a new pitch deck, updated my portfolio, practiced my presentation for weeks. I was excited, nervous, hopeful. I even showed Amanda my application, my slides, my case studies. She acted supportive, said I had it in the bag. I remember her exact words, "They'd be stupid not to hire you." I didn't know she had already submitted her own application, using pieces of mine. She literally lifted my project outlines and reworded them just enough to not look identical. She even named one of her mock campaigns Echo Clean, which was my exact concept. When I didn't hear back for 3 weeks, I followed up with the recruiter. He was polite, but said the role had already been filled. We went with someone else who brought a really fresh, unexpected perspective, he said. 2 weeks later, at Sunday dinner, Amanda walked in wearing designer heels and acting like she just came from a photo shoot. Our mom had cooked a full meal, baked ziti, garlic bread, salad. And we were halfway through when Amanda clinked her glass and said, "I have an announcement." I should have known. I should have seen her smirk coming. "I'm the new creative director at Burke and Franklin, Atlanta office," she said, grinning like she'd just won a damn Oscar. There was silence. Then our mom clapped. My uncle toasted her. My aunt said, "Wow, Amanda, I had no idea you were into marketing." That's when Amanda looked right at me, and with that same fake sweet voice, said, "Guess it's true what they say, not everyone's cut out for success." I didn't respond. I stood up, walked out, drove back to the house we shared, and found my key didn't work. Deadbolt was changed. I tried the back door. Nothing. Then I saw the note. "Don't come back. You're not welcome here. Go be a failure somewhere else." No signature, just Amanda's handwriting. I sat in my car that night until sunrise. No money, no place to go. My laptop and a duffel bag of clothes were all I had. She didn't just take my job. She erased me from my own life. She turned our family against me with one move. That's when I promised myself, this isn't over. I'm not walking away with nothing. I'm going to take back everything she stole, and more. And the worst part? I already knew her weak spots. She was sloppy, arrogant, and she had no clue how deep I'd dig to get revenge. The first few weeks after Amanda locked me out were the lowest point in my life. I crashed on an old college friend's couch in Durham. He didn't ask questions, just handed me a key and a blanket. I didn't tell him what really happened. Not yet. I was too ashamed. I just kept saying family stuff. But while I was laying low, I was also watching. Amanda had no idea how much I still knew about her. Same passwords, same email habits. I'd helped her with her resume more than once, and I'd seen her log into her Gmail on my laptop. She never logged out. So while she was posting fake deep quotes on LinkedIn and taking selfies at rooftop bars in Atlanta, I was reading every email Burke and Franklin sent her. It started as curiosity, but what I found made my blood boil. She was struggling. Big time. Emails from her manager hinted that she didn't understand campaign timelines. She was missing basic terms. Didn't know what a PPC audit was. Couldn't explain conversion funnels. They were giving her grace, but it was clear they were noticing. Then came the kicker. She started forwarding my old project decks to her work email. I recognized every slide. One of them still had my initials in the footer. She was recycling my old freelance work and presenting it as her own. That's when the idea hit me. I still had access to every file she used. So I started making small changes to her source decks. Subtle things at first, swapped a few data points, inserted formatting errors. Then bigger things, replaced logos with outdated ones, broke links, deleted slide transitions. She didn't notice. Not right away, but her team did. I watched the fallout through the email chain. Her boss asked why her live client deck used a logo the company hadn't used since 2018. Another exec asked why the case study listed fake statistics. Amanda blamed the interns. I laughed out loud. Then I found out something even better. Burke and Franklin was up for a major client pitch, a $2.5 million brand relaunch for a green tech startup in Austin. Amanda was in charge of the proposal. So I went deeper. I created a fake Dropbox link using her saved account credentials, then uploaded a version of the pitch deck that looked fine on the surface, but the moment they opened it, half the graphics were corrupted and the data sources were completely wrong. She submitted that file to the execs. The fallout was instant. I didn't see the full aftermath, but I read enough to know she was under review. Her emails got shorter. Her posts stopped. Then I saw a forwarded message from HR scheduling a performance discussion. Still, I wasn't done. I sent an anonymous tip to Burke and Franklin's compliance team. I included screenshots of her using my old freelance work, timestamps, version history, and even one email where she forwarded my personal deck to her work address. They launched a quiet investigation. She didn't know where it came from. I waited. Meanwhile, our mom kept calling me, leaving messages I never returned. She believed Amanda's side, that I'd lashed out, that I was jealous. I wasn't surprised. Amanda had always been her favorite, but it still hurt to hear her say, "Why can't you just be happy for your sister?" Because she stole everything. That's why. And I wasn't going to stop until she had nothing left. Just when I thought I had her cornered, something happened I didn't see coming. Amanda didn't get fired right away. Burke and Franklin put her on a probationary development plan, giving her 60 days to prove she could handle the role. I couldn't believe it. After all the screw-ups, all the stolen work, they still gave her a second chance. It made me question everything. Maybe people like her always landed on their feet. But then I got a call. It was from Maya, my old mentor at a small agency in Charlotte. She'd seen my name mentioned in an anonymous forum where freelancers were warning each other about stolen work. She asked if I'd ever worked with Amanda Bennett. My stomach dropped. Turns out Amanda wasn't just stealing from me. She had been submitting freelance projects under my name and using my old Upwork profile, which I'd abandoned after getting my full-time gig years ago. She changed the email slightly, but used my picture, my credentials, and even my LinkedIn summary. She'd been doing it for months. One of the clients she scammed? A former Burke and Franklin partner who didn't take kindly to being lied to. That's when things started to unravel, fast. The client contacted the firm directly, saying Amanda had used fraudulent credentials to land her role. He forwarded contract copies and payment receipts, all under my name, with Amanda's bank account listed for deposits. I didn't have to lift another finger. Burke and Franklin launched a full internal audit. This time it wasn't quiet. The emails turned frantic. Legal was CC'd. Her supervisor was removed from the thread. Then silence for 2 days. On the third day, Amanda's LinkedIn profile disappeared. That night, I got a call from my mom. She was crying. "Chris, I don't know what to say. Amanda says someone ruined her life. She's blaming you." I didn't respond. She went on. "She got fired. They're threatening legal action. She might be sued. She lost her apartment, and, Chris, she says she's moving back in with me." I hung up. She hadn't called me herself. Of course not. She never faced things head on. But later that night, I got a message from an unknown number. "You think you've won? This isn't over. You're a piece of sh*t. I should have finished what I started." That's when I realized something else. Amanda hadn't just stolen my work. She'd gone through my personal hard drive when we lived together. She'd copied private files, financial statements, old tax returns, even a folder marked portfolio drafts. I only noticed because I saw the cloud sync records later. She didn't just want my job. She wanted to be me. That level of obsession? That's when it stopped feeling like revenge and started feeling like I was up against something darker. Amanda had no line, no bottom, and now she had nothing to lose. But neither did I. After that message, I knew Amanda was desperate, dangerous, even. I tightened my digital security, changed every password, locked down my credit. But I also knew one thing. She was broke, angry, and spiraling, which meant she'd slip up. And she did. A few weeks later, I got a notification from the IRS. There had been a suspicious attempt to access my tax records online. Someone tried to request a tax transcript using my name and social security number. They failed the identity verification. I didn't need proof. I knew it was her. So I filed a report. Then I made one final move. See, Amanda had been using fake credentials long before Burke and Franklin. She'd faked her college diploma, told everyone she graduated from UNC Chapel Hill. But she didn't. I knew that. I still had her withdrawal letter from 2008, buried in an old folder from when we cleaned out Dad's stuff. So I made copies. I sent it, along with the timeline of her fraud, to the North Carolina Department of Labor and Burke and Franklin's Executive Compliance Board. I also sent a full write-up to every freelance platform she'd ever used, including screenshots of her fake profile pretending to be me. She was blacklisted from 3 major sites within days. Then came the final blow. The startup she'd failed to pitch, the $2.5 million contract, was owned by someone who later joined Burke and Franklin's board. He pushed for legal action against her for fraud and misrepresentation. And they listened. She was sued. It didn't make headlines. But she had to settle out of court. Word got around in the local industry fast. Amanda Bennett became a cautionary tale. Nobody would touch her. Nobody wanted her name on a campaign. Her LinkedIn was gone. Her phone number changed. Last I heard, she was working at a strip mall print shop under a different name. And me? I didn't get the Burke and Franklin job. That dream was dead. But something better happened. The former mentor who reached out, Maya, offered me a spot at her new agency in Austin. She said she'd been watching how I handled things. She called me strategic, but I told her the truth. I just wanted my life back. I took the job, moved out of Raleigh, started fresh, cut contact with my mom, too. She never once apologized. Still says family shouldn't turn on each other, as if Amanda didn't throw the first match. I don't regret what I did. Not one bit. Amanda stole my work, my home, and tried to ruin my name. All I did was hand people the truth and watch her bury herself with it. I told her, that night she locked me out, this isn't over. She should have listened. Because now, it is. And she has no one to blame but herself.